Hey guys, Youngblood with you, and we just got the pricing for the whole series, which means that they're going to be going on sale this Friday, the 24th. Now, starting with the smallest, we've got the whole A, which is going for $60, the whole B, which is going for $90, the whole C, which is going for $200, the D going for $350, and the E going for $550. Now, all of these are going to be cargo-focused ships, and they're likely going to be ships that we somehow see as kind of the center of our universe. You know, it doesn't really matter if you're going to be flying them, or if your intent is to fly escort for them, or you're out pirating and hunting them. Or, if nothing else, it's going to be just a really common ship, so there's a lot to be excited about with these because you're going to see them everywhere that you go. What I'm personally most excited to see is how they decide to differentiate these ships from current ships that we already know about, because there's a really big opportunity here for overlapping roles and maybe running the risk of making other ships obsolete if this isn't really done carefully. So let's take a look at the Hull C a little bit closer, because that's the variant that we know the most about right now. And the Hull C is going to be going for $200. So the Connie Taurus is probably the closest comparison based on the role and the price. However, if the ship stats page is accurate, and that's a big question mark, there's a lot of differences. The Hull C is 5 times longer, it's 4 times wider, it carries almost 5 times more cargo, and it's only $50 more. So I think we can probably go ahead and start making some assumptions based on that information and the price point. The null cargo mass of the Hull C is 15 times heavier than the Taurus, and while it has 10 primary engines, they're size 4. So when we look at the Connie Taurus, which has 4 TR5s, we kind of start to see some differences in potential speed. Also on the stats page, we kind of start looking at the, defenses. And the Hull C only really appears to have 1 man turret and 1 point defense turret, which isn't much at all based on a ship of that size. And I'm just speculating that's a point defense turret. Who knows, maybe that ends up being like a tractor beam or something like that. On top of all of that, both of these ships only have 8 maneuvering thrusters, and when you compare the ship sizes again, that's not really boding real favorably for the Hull C, and at least in its ability to defend itself. So I think what we're seeing is how they're going to avoid obsolescence. I would expect the Hull series, all of them, to be big for their price point and really have the ability to carry a crap load of cargo, but they're likely going to have some downsides. I think they're going to be slow, I think they're going to be hard to steer, and I don't expect them to have much teeth. Now, they may have good shields, and they may be kind of tanky, but they're likely going to really have to rely on escorts to ensure their safety. And also, while size is generally a good thing for cargo vessels, it could mean increased fuel cost. It could mean potentially longer trips based on wormhole sizes and availability and regulations. You're probably putting off larger, electronic and heat signatures. And just being a bigger target overall isn't always a good thing. So while the opportunity for higher profits may be there, I think there's some really good risks that may kind of weigh into that equation on which ship you decide that you want to go for. So it's really hard to kind of speculate about what we're going to see from the others because we don't have as much information on them, but I'm going to take some wild guesses here and let me know what you think as far as where these are going to land. I'm sort of thinking that we're going to see the A variant carrying about as much as a freelancer, somewhere in the 200, 300 freight unit category. Maybe the B is carrying around, 1,000 freight units, like an Andromeda. Now, the D is 1.7 times the price of the C. So if we kind of extrapolate that and look at the cargo, then that would mean that the D could then potentially carry 15,000 freight units. And the E, which is 2.75 times more expensive than the C, if we do that for cargo, all of a sudden we're looking at about 25,000 freight units on that. Now, I doubt that it's going to be that simple. So maybe we're looking at cargo numbers, that these aren't really dead on, but maybe we start seeing other things. Like maybe the larger variants have the ability to carry those gigantic spider mining drones. Or maybe they can fill somewhat of the Starfarer's role and carry fuel and do mid-flight operations. I don't know, but Friday's coming, and I think we're going to get a better idea soon. But I would expect to see that the general idea behind the whole series is it's a good point A to point B transporter, but you probably don't want to do it on your own. If you're running in more dangerous areas, things like the Freelancer or the Constellation series or the Merchantman are probably going to be your better jack-of-all-trade ships to get that cargo to its destination safely. So, who knows? Friday's not that far off. We get a lot more information then. I'm excited to see the design on them and specifically about what they're doing to make sure that it's not overlapping too bad with other ships. So if you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoy it. I will talk to you all later. Have a wonderful day, and take care.